And we're going to switch over to the game where we can see all the players. I believe we're going to be, I think everyone's had a bit of a warm-up, or we may be going into a short warm-up in a moment. So, as you see up the top, we do have Not Curious, Sankit, Iridium, Instinct, Divinash, Neil, Kunal, and Ojas. So we are heading into a restart, and I believe this will be a little bit of a warm-up for everyone, or we may be jumping straight into warm-up. Minute warm-up.
Just a
Anything
minute warm. We got
about
time.
this map?
Yeah, so Face Lot, for me personally, definitely my weakest map. For some reason, I think one of the hardest part about this track, it's a nice flowy track with the middle part having the reactor boost, bobbing and weaving your way through the middle section. You've got a nice long tightrope section, if you will, after the plastic. But I'd say the main point that I can see things go wrong, besides the balance beam, would be the entry into the dirt section. There's quite a long turn right there that you want to make sure you get your car sliding in just right and get as much speed as possible through the engine off onto the dirt. And it's really making sure that you keep the speed in the landing, making sure the exit out of that turn is correct. And then along with that, you've got this 180 dirt turn that you want to make sure you touch the outside the corner as much as possible without actually getting there, because there's a booster right there that's going to allow you to get to the top finish, and so you're going to get those top times. So I'm very curious to see how that'll turn out as we do go live right now.
Indeed. Heading into round one, I'd just like to note as well, during the warm-up, Neil did get world record at a 50.6, but heading into round one, we are spectating Divinash. Neil obviously getting a bit of speed off the start. Divinash very close behind in second, but dueling it out with Nami and I believe Kunal. It's going to be interesting to see who tries to take the lead. It does look like Neil's got quite a comfortable lead as we head through the loop into the section with the plastic. The plastic could mess people up, but I believe everyone's learned their plastic drifts thanks to today's track of the day. It does appear to be Neil in that first position with Iridium. Iridium dueling it for the second with Kun. So heading into that duel, would you like to talk about this duel a little bit? Seems going to be a good.
Looking like a very close one indeed. You can see they're really pushing the outside of the turns, both hitting the boosters the way they want, but unfortunately, it's the exit. It's the exit out of that turn that is killer. You hit the booster right there while you're having this tight third turn going on. It is quite easy, unfortunately, to then hit the edge.
Yeah.
The wall is just so close, but you have to push it outside as much as possible to make sure you have enough speed to get up the jump. Because if you hit the booster and hit the wall, you're gonna crash right in the middle, right? You're not gonna hit either of the finish lines. It's quite punishing, and I think especially when you're close as you are with another competitor, you're gonna want to punch it. You're gonna want to make sure you get as much space, as much speed as possible, and that's where these mistakes occur.
Indeed, and you could see at the end, Iridium did bonk and unfortunately lost his high position. I believe he got fourth in that last round. But Kunal is actually taking the lead for the starting section, getting through that slalom really easily, hitting the loop perfectly as he's heading into the plastic section. Last time, the plastic section did him justice, and he's able to get through that cleanly as he heads to that balance beam, making sure to keep as much speed as possible, heading into the upward drift. And oh, that's such a clean line, Kunal. Such a clean line indeed as he hits the drift, heading into that dirt section for the end with that end off. Gets through it cleanly, minimal bonking. Heading on that outside, you did say the exit is the problem, but he does hit that cleanly and manages to hit the booster. And he manages to cross the line with a 51 point.
Beautiful run from Kunal right there. Definitely just first place hanging out. We saw some crashes were happening in the back here and there. We'll see if everybody will be able to finish. We've got 10 seconds left on the timer. Got Nami coming in. Oh, with a nice flip. Nice wicked ending to it all, barely having enough speed to get to the top finish right there.
I mean, if you gotta come last, at least come last with style. And Nami did that just by getting that nice flip.
You gotta make sure you gotta. It's either style points or it's actual points. Unfortunately, style points are not going to cut it in the overall rankings. But hey, you're pleasing the crowd, right? That's got to count for something in my book.
Yeah, 100%.
Time around.
I do agree with that. Like if you're not able to get a win, at least get some style points, make the fans happy. Pull that gladiator scene. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
But it does look like Kunal's getting quite strong placements here, dueling for that first position with Neil there. As they're heading into the upward drift, it does appear that Neil's actually going to get that a lot cleaner, so Kunal is going to drop into that second, but he could make it up in this dirt section. We've seen stuff happen.
We have seen stuff happen, and Radium is starting to get quite close to the players, but unfortunately swagging out a little bit too far to the left and right, but perhaps able to overtake Kunal right there to the finish. No, not enough space. He was starting to gain. Neil really got away from Kunal right there towards the end. You can see a full second between first and second place right there. Amazing time, but not even his best time, right? Like it's ridiculous how fast Neil has been on these tracks. If you've seen the rankings, so while previous round he wasn't there, I think that was more issues on just technical issues than it was driving issues. Yeah, but, coming back into it now and another 25 points to his name.
I do believe, yeah, it is going to come down to that dirt section. We do see a lot of players failing there. The server seems to be having a little bit of a hissy fit, but that's all right, folks. Neil as well getting the world record there is quite good. Kunal is someone to mention as well, being the previous winner of the TM Cup. So heading into this, he does have that upper ground of being like, hey, I'm number one here, watch out, and able to compete at such a high level. However, Iridium has started to take the lead in the first, with Nami in the close second and Kunal holding that third position. Seems to be up high, for a lot of these, but I believe that was someone just crashed. I didn't catch the name.
That was Nami right there. Yeah, just not getting the zigzag right. So we're left with 3 players competing at the top: Neil, Iridium, and Kuno at the moment. And Kuno going quite wide there. Unfortunately, unable to keep his balance. So left with Neil and Iridium for first place, and they are very much tied up. It's going to come down to this dirt turn once again. Wait.
Iridium had to go for the respawn because he aimed too far left. Unfortunately, he tried to get that smooth landing, but ended up bonking out, so he did lose that position. Kunal seems to be pushing higher into that spot, with Ivy actually taking first place with a 52.2. Huri is taking second as well. These two players coming out of nowhere, with Neil in that third position, as we should expect. It's that dirt turn. The dirt turn seems to be messing everyone up on this map, which is it's a good thing. It means that there's one corner that's difficult for everyone, but at the same time, if everyone's failing that corner, it's not really that.
It leaves the field open, right? It leaves the field open for these moments that you can look at. And I think at the same time, it's very important to know that if you know as a player that you don't necessarily have the pace to keep up with everyone, it's important to be consistent at your corners at least. That way, you can take advantage of these mistakes happening. It's one of those situations where it could allow you to eke out just enough points. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be working on your pace, but at the same time, if you can drive consistent at a pace that's like, let's say, half a second slower, you're still going to be able to win quite some rounds because of that consistency.
Of course, and heading into this round as well, we do see Neil and Kamal and Iridium up in that 3 position, the 3 that we do expect. But it does appear Iridium's going to go a little bit wide and trying to get as much speed as possible through that. Neil does bonk the outside, but it's not much to affect him as he jumps into that upper finish in first with a 50.79. Still quite a good time from him, considering he is the world record holder on this map. As we do watch Scorpid in the back, will he have time to finish? Maybe he'll hit the top finish. Does scrape, so it looks like he is just going to make the top finish. Just bonk it on the end, and then drives the number 11th with a 105 point. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the board already starting to shape up, and just one round remaining on our first map, Faisla. It's nobody at the 100 mark just yet, considering you can get 25 points per round. Goes to show that there isn't exactly someone really reigning at the top right now, with Kunal and Neil having 95 and 91 points respectively. There is definitely a gap, but not the biggest gap, I would say. There's still potential for any of the other players to make their mark in. Akirius, Devansh, Iridium, all around 70, 60 points, right? Ojas as well, 54 points. Nami not having a great day right now on 26, and along with Sanket Instinct, just not really having the pace. But I think at the same time, and that's something that I always find important with tournaments like these, is to see players come in despite the skill level that is there, right? It's all about doing this together as a community and having a great time while doing so.
Indeed, and unfortunately, it does look like we did lose Scorpid. I'm not sure whether it was a connection or something, but this round's actually really interesting because Neil is still holding that first place with Kunal in second, but it's still an interesting duel for that third place. Divvy seems to be getting the most speed out of that and overtakes him. What happened, Kunal? Kunal might have failed
So
that.
many people take it. Yeah, no, the turn didn't go quite the way he wanted it. He hit the booster, hit the wall right after, and everyone passed him.
Yeah, he just said that
Goes
no
to
one
show how
failed except
painful
for
that
him,
is.
Avish on that outside, but it does look like that Neil's going to take the first place. Divi actually able to get those 20 points in the second, Nami in third, Ojas in fourth, and Curious in fifth for the final round on Chrysler. Overall, really fun map, really test your skill on every surface. Overall, I was a really big fan of that map. And as we head into map 2, we get to look at a lovely loading screen with Nostalgia by Virtual. For those who don't know, this is the better loading screen to plug in. Highly recommended you download it as it features one of my maps. You may see it in one of the loading screens, so check it out. It's a really cool thing to download. Changes the default loading screen to just nice screenshots from the community-made map. As we head into map 2, which is Sit High.
Sit High, yeah. It starts off with a nice turn already, right? Getting in between the poles, and I'm sure some players will favor not to go for that during rounds, right? Maybe not feeling like they can tread the needle, but most players will, and I mean it's definitely obviously one of the fastest way about it. But the start here is an interesting one, right? Because you want to make sure you build up as much speed as possible so that once you get to the first turn where you're gonna have to drift, you actually have enough speed to set up your drift, unless you can Neo. If you can't Neo, you're gonna have to make sure you got the speed. Because other than that, it's quite a technical map, right? Reminding of you know, like a 21, right? Making sure you drift early enough so you can enter these turns in the way you want. There's not as many on this one. It's a relatively it feels like a short track is what I found through playing it myself. Despite that, it's, you know, still around, what is it, 50 seconds, 55 seconds.
Or in Neil's case, 48.7, taking world record once again, proving that he is one of the strongest competitors in this. Actually, number one on the leaderboard with Kunal in second and Divi in third. So Neil is definitely one to watch. He may actually take this out.
There we go. Live on Sit High, just the warm-up over, ready, good to go. Everybody starting off quite nicely in a pack. Curious to see who will get the drift. Ooh, we do see a couple of players, unfortunately, falling off on that first turn, but we do have Neo, Iridium, Ojas, Nami, and Not Curious, or maybe Very Curious, rounding up the top 5 at the moment. But Curious starting to get away from his competitors right now while they are carving a path forward, especially Neil right now, who is taking quite a lead. But you can see this peloton, right, of Ojas, Nami, and Iridium chasing him down. Will there be enough time, enough space to able to do so? Ooh. I believe that was
quite a brutal
Ojas
bonk from
slid out.
Kunal if he didn't catch it. Iridium bonking into the CP as well. Kunal and Iridium both having bonks in this one. You just see Kunal just parked up there, unfortunately. So, does look like he's going to take out that 5th position. Nami in that 2nd. Definitely one to watch it in later rounds. Ojas in that 3rd. Kunal actually managing to get 4th despite the fact he did bonk. So quite interesting to see who's taking out this one, especially. And I did find it funny that you mentioned that it feels like a 21 because it's a very obscure reference unless you play the campaign and then it's, oh yeah, it's a 21.
Yeah, it very much has that. It's not as speedy, right? Like Speed Tech usually likes these types of turns where you it looks awkward, right? If you've never seen it before, it looks very awkward. Why is this sudden break in the road, right, where it just like zigzags? But it's very, very, well, it's not reminiscent. It's more a trait of Speed Tech, right? Those types of corners that you see. So it's nice to see that as well on this track. This is one of the, I believe, the only track that has those types of corners from I'm just thinking about that from the top of my head.
Yeah, indeed.
But it's one you just got to think about.
Well, sorry, you go, sir. I do apologize. Didn't interrupt.
No. Just go on.
Oh no, I'm coughing. You can go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. You make sure you get some drinks, Sim. While we see Kunal, Ojas, and Divansh right now, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And Kunal driving a sweet 49 flats right there. I believe that is at least a local record improvement right here.
100%.
And good enough for 1st place. I mean, Neil actually drove a PB previous round.
Vish,
and this time
popping the CP straight to the face, unfortunately, and getting that 8th position. Kunal got that 2nd position. He saves 3 seconds over previous, which is really good. I believe Avish is also lagging as well, which is kind of unfortunate. But heading into the 3rd round, you can see that Neil has quite the lead there. The fact that he's so high means that he could get away with not placing so high in the next rounds, but he's still able to hold that lead over the other competitors as we head into this 3rd round. Everyone taking the grass really nicely. with, I believe that is Neil in the lead with Iridium. Iridium taking the drift, and Neil, just as we talked about him, Neil bonks into the wall, meaning that Nami and Iridium. Kunal bonked the side! Iridium bonked the side as well, but able to keep more speed out of it. This is too close of a match, but it does appear that Ojas is currently in the lead and holding steady with someone right on his tail.
Yeah, it's a nice back and forth, exchanging leads all the way. It's all due to these like either drifts being taken too close, or the drift, you know, not happening, which also can be quite an issue. But this turn right here has been a killer so far. You want to make sure you drift as much as possible, but not too much so you can hit the checkpoint. Iridium doing a fantastic job of it right there with a 49.4 going his way, 25 points his way, and definitely a different top three this time with Iridium, Divanche, and Ojas in first, second, and third. Oh, Avish, come on. You got this. I believe in you. I know you can't see him, but
come on, Avish.
I believe. I believe.
We got it.
I believe.
We got it. Avish!
Yeah, there you go. Let's go.
Avish managing to get that completion, getting that 9th position. I don't believe Instinct finish or Instinct may have just... But it does appear that this is not Neil's map. Unfortunately, he has lost that lead with only 9 points separating the two. It does appear that Ojas is going to be one to watch in this heading into that grass downhill. He's taking it a little bit wide, so he does lose a little bit of speed there. But it does appear on this uphill drift, he's able to hit it cleanly. This one was a lot better. Not a lot of people bonked that drift as we head into that dirt drop down. Neil in the lead, some people just clipping the side. Nami was unfortunately one who clipped the side. But in that top 3 position, we have the 3 we were looking at previously. Iridium, Kunal, and Neil. Ooh, what was that jump, yeah. Kunal?
That was quite a high jump indeed. Didn't cost him too much. He's still in the pack, right? Still in second place. But Iridium Ojas quite, you know, close on his tail. Very curious to see how this ending will go. Will the players take enough space for them to actually get into the checkpoint or hit the checkpoint itself? No, everybody doing a fantastic job, in fact. And Neil's still in the lead. Kunal in second place. Ojas in third place, overtaking Iridium right there, who nabs 4th. Look at those times as well, right? We got 48s, 49s. Great times coming in from all the players right here.
It's interesting to see that Kunal got a 49.2, which is just outside of his PB. But as we have Instinct, who's about to finish, Instinct managing to make it into 9th position. It's definitely interesting to see how everyone goes on this map, because especially Neil, I thought, wouldn't be doing so well on this map, but he just got himself in first place, bumping up his lead a little bit more, with Kunal in that nice second, and there's a bit of a gap before Divi and Ojas in that 3rd and 4th, respectively. Still anyone's game, surprisingly.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of room, and maybe we'll get a map where somebody really comes ahead. And I mean, Neil right now is at the top, right? He is number 1, but it's been his consistency so far that has been making it that the rest of the players still have a shot, still have a chance to getting close to him. Right now, not as close of a pack as we had during the previous one. We have Neil and Iridium right now fighting for first place. Nami and Kunal in hot pursuit, along with Curious and Ojas just trailing behind by about a second. But it does look like we're going to have a nice close finish once again. We'll see if any bonks, any crashes will happen along the plastic line. You can hit the walls here, but no changing of the guard happening whatsoever. Neil retains his lead, Iridium following behind in second, Kunal in third, Ojas and Nami 4th and 5th place. Avish, what? No, Avish, come on.
Come on, Avish.
I said it was okay to hit the wall, but not like that.
Avish is just wanting us to go watch him. He's just going to do something that makes us go, come on, Avish. Avish is such a legendary player. According to chat, Avish is quite a legendary player. We do appreciate him competing as well, as we do head, I believe, into the final round on this map. Starting out, everyone seems to be taking that inside line. Avish bonking at the start, which is not the best thing, but hey, we'll make it work. We've got Ojas roughly in the middle of the pack. In front, we do have Nami, Iridium. Ojas not getting the drift. Ojas bonking out, unfortunately. Iridium taking a weird landing. Come on, someone please give me something to work with. Neil heading into that upwards drift with, Kunal bonking as well. I mean, Nami can overtake, and he's currently in that second position by a comfortable margin as we head into that other uphill drift. It is a smooth line from there, but Neil seems to be getting quite a lead on there. Nami may not be able to keep the speed, but we'll have to see if Not Curious can actually catch up to him as we head into the final turns there. Neil getting the clean line, Nami having to double drift, then bonking. Oh no, Neil can just cruise to the finish, getting himself a comfortable first place. We have Kunal in second, Not Curious in third, Divanche in 4th, and we've got Avish. Avish got 6th place over Iridium. Avish the legend. Quite an interesting
Let's
round.
go.
Instinct having some technical difficulties, forgetting which button to accelerate most likely. But that's the 6th round on this map as we do head into the next map. Quite an interesting map, and the standings have maybe shifted. I'm curious to see what's actually changed on the standings as we do head into this.
Yeah, I mean, the top two, I'd say at this point, you know, you can write it down in pencil. I mean, to be fair, we have 5 maps in total, right? We just had 2 come and go, just like that. Slip being our 3rd one of the bunch, and it's so far, you know, like it's from what I've seen, Neil being at the top right, it's either he gets 1st or maybe 2nd place, or he's all the way at the bottom because of a mistake happening all the way, and somehow everybody's driving clean as they could be, right? And just going past, no problem whatsoever. Kunal's still in range to you know, make a play and make an attack on that 1st place, but other than that, it's looking like 3rd place is very contested, right? Iridian, Divanch, and Ojas all on 150 points, right? Give or take 7. It's definitely a close fight for that 3rd place spot right now, but 1st place right now is really seeming like it's going to be a fight between Neil and Kunal.
Indeed, and as we head into this 3rd map, I'm going to let you take the reins once again. You know the maps a lot better than I do. Do you want to talk a bit about this map's bit?
Slip, yeah. So Slip, I took me a bit of time to understand the start. The start has a what is it, a slide drift that you want to get into, and then you have a what is it, magnet block right there, which allows you to straighten out. You can gain a lot of speed from that. That is definitely one of the spots where you can see players just shooting forward because they just get a slight enough drift and get as much speed out of that magnet block. The other place that you can expect it from is out of the water section. You've got the long dirt turn going down over the bridge, we'll call it for now, and then jumping into the water. You want to make sure you get as much speed as possible jumping into the water, because that speed will retain and carry itself forward toward the end of the track. So I think those 2 spots are where we're going to expect it. And right here, you can already see it happening. The pack is starting to spread out quite a bit. We've got a top 4 in Kunal, Nami, Divanch, and Curious, whereas all the other players just lagging behind a bit, just not having the speed that you're looking for out of the 1st section right there.
I do believe it was actually a bonk from Iridium and Neil on the same corner, but not in the same spot. So it does allow Kunal and Divanash to get quite a comfortable lead with Nami in that. Kunal just steaming ahead. We're going to go watch Divanash. Currently dueling for that 3rd position. Neil actually getting the wiggles and able to keep a lot more speed. Coming out of nowhere after that bonk, but able to keep a lot of speed heading into that grass downhill. Getting a good line, keeping himself flat. As we do head into the risky or safe finish, and everyone's going to go risky. Kunal in that 1st, Neil in 2nd, Divanash in 3rd. Iridium managing to recover and get that 4th, Ojas in 5th, Curious in 6th. Let's go look at our boy Avish. Avish is coming into this section. You have time, Avish. Take your time. We've got this. Come on. Overtake him. He's overtaking Iridium.
Attacking instinct.
And he's got
he's going for...
And he takes a safe finish and manages to overtake someone in the last second.
Instinct doesn't make it, no.
Oh, Sanket unfortunately doesn't get the speed and unfortunately has lost that spot. But it does. It's only 23 points separating 1st and 2nd place here. So if Kunal can get a win and Neil can't finish, that's 1 round shifted as we do head into that 2nd round. Let's spectate Divanash.
Take a look from his POV right now in the middle of the pack. Ooh, bit of air right there is going to cost him a spot or 2 right there. Quite close to pushing towards the wall, but great 3rd turn to recover and get back into the race. I'm very curious to see what the speed will be for all the players as we head down onto this bridge and into the water section. Again, this is definitely important to make sure you have as much speed as possible. And we'll see if anybody will be able to overtake anyone else. Nami and Ojas right there, close together quite a bit. Overlapping. Ojas actually overtaking Nami right there out of the water, just having a bit more speed advantage at the moment. Still trailing behind, right? Lurking, waiting to see if any mistakes will happen. Kuno and Neil at the front, dueling it out to see who will get 1st place, but Neil definitely taking the lead there. 1st place going his way. Divanch goes a bit too high for the risky fin. He gets it on his 2nd try though, but you know, not quite the 1st time right.
Yeah, it's like rather unfortunate, but looking at this, we just had another world record from Neil and 2nd place from Kunal. This is going to be quite a competitive match considering Neil did get the world record 3 times in a row, and now he's just holding that world record steady in the following rounds. it's going to be him getting that consistency as he slowly grows his lead over the other players heading into round 3. We're going to be spectating Divinash to start with as everyone takes a plastic. Moves onto the ramp. I believe you have to take that corner really close to get as much speed as possible. So see everyone cutting it close with a couple of people nearly hitting the hill as we do head into the uphill. Divinash reducing his airtime this time. Sitting in that 5th position, but it does look like everyone's really close together. So it could be anyone's game at this point. And I do believe that was a bonk from Neil. Neil unfortunately bonking that landing, losing a lot of speed as Nami is able to take that 1st position with Divinash holding that 4th one. Taking a little bit of a wide line, but it does appear that it's going to be Ojas. Ojas taking that 1st position with Bruno in 2nd. It's a close duel for this top 3. Only a few car lines separating all these competitors as we do head into the drift. Divinash takes the corner fully. Kunal and Ojas dueling for that 1st and 2nd. Unfortunate. But as we do head into this risky, it's going to be both of them clean lines. Ojas actually getting himself a win there with Kunal in 2nd. Iridium, 3rd place. Neil with that bonk, unfortunately getting 4th. Nami recovering into that 5th. Divinash eventually getting 7th. Check our boy Avish. Avish is coming up to the ending. And, a couple of people missed the risky. Eddie misses the risky. It's going to be anyone's game who could not hit this risky. As we go for the safe. He misses the safe.
Avish!
Avish, what are you doing? Avish lost himself the safe position. What happened to Avish? At least he's not last, but hey. Quite funny. Eddie just drove into the wall.
Yeah, you know, look, after a round like that, you need a splash of cold water in your face to cool off, right? And you know, collect your senses. Unfortunately, you shouldn't be doing that when the round is about to start. But maybe, you know, this is all part of his master plan, making sure to lull everyone to a false sense of security before he crushes everyone one by one, right? He's just giving them a lead. Is what it's coming down to.
He's just playing with his food before he goes into battle.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I believe that's what's going on here. Iridium actually getting a really clean line out of that and able to snipe that 1st position after just clean play from him. It does appear that Neil's going to be going to that sector to head into that final grass section. Neil actually going to get a better line as Iridium had to double drift. And it could be anyone's game at this point. Iridium going for the risky and just manages to snipe Neil with basically less than 2 tenths. That's hard. I don't know which is which, but basically it's 0.1 separating these two in this.
No, definitely a great round from the top 3 right there, right? You saw Iridium, as you said, right, losing some speed, but recovered quite well towards the final turn and regaining his 1st place. I think maybe appeared to, you could say that it was him actually losing his 1st spot, perhaps different lines, but at the same time, you know, whatever line it is he was following,
I wish he could just put like a little Sharpie on the front of his car just to see the line he's drawing as he drives, because I'm actually curious to see what the hell he's doing. Because some of them make sense and then others he's just like, oh, I'm just going to casually miss the finish. Interesting game for this, but we do have Kunal and Neil dueling for 1st and 2nd. I do believe that's Nami in 3rd place as well. Actually getting overtaken by Ojas for the moment, but able to keep much more speed out of that, heading into that drift before the water section. This water section seems to be interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of people bonking out of it.
Yeah, there's quite some space. In fact, I mean, the signage on this map, like even driving this the 1st time around is quite easy to follow where it is you need to go. But at the same time, there's quite some time to make sure you get your jump right and set up into the water. But we have seen some players just jump off a bit too far to the right. Like, it might feel in your mind's eye that the water is a bit more to the right than it actually is. But it's all about the exit speed out of the drift. If your speed out of that is fine, you should not, as long as you don't air brake, do not air brake, bounce on the water, right? Clean landing into it, and from that point on, just, you know, carry that speed forward. It's not a very, very tight turn, and, you know, like I believe not 14. One of the campaign maps has like a water turn that is a lot tighter. A lot tighter.
Bonking the start, unfortunately, losing that position. I was just taking note of the fact that Neil also just beat world record again with a 53.9, so he's getting really comfortable on this map, and you can see it in his play where he's keeping relatively consistent. A couple of low rounds, but especially with these speeds, he's actually keeping up a lot better with Ojas actually taking Kunal in the ice section, moving into that 2nd place, but Kunal knows how to take this drift a bit faster. Unfortunately, he does lose a little bit of gear, but he's able to get the faster drift on there. Ojas has to go a little bit wide, so Kunal is actually going to take that second position. Neil just cruising ahead, having a great time. Getting a smooth out of there. I believe he went on the side just a little bit to smooth that out. Getting that smooth air brake there as we head into that drift before the grass section. He is keeping a lot of speed, actually gaining lead on Kunal. Not by much, but he just got 0.1 over him, and as he goes into the finish with a 53.954, quite a strong time from him, if I don't say so myself.
These times, I mean, it's very, very cool to see as well. Just better and better times being driven right during rounds. It's nice to you know, be able to drive great times when you're just offline practicing and whatnot. But you know, at this point, it counts, it matters, and you're doing that, but better.
Yeah,
that's just a good time. That's just having a good time. Like, that's good eating.
Last second as well. I believe that was the final round of Slip as we do head into the next map. Nami stuck in to get those 3 points. Every point counts, even if you're not going for that top position. Every point counts to keep yourself in the higher rankings as you do head into it. You want to talk a bit about this next map? Rorik. Wrong map.
Because we're going to be electrified right here. I mean, I mean, all the maps, right, have this mix, right? You've got dirt, you've got grass, you've got plastic, you've got ice, right? It's on all of these tracks. But electric definitely is one of them that is, I'd say, a good mix, right? Where previously we had the ice, right? Ice doesn't really make you do anything. You just make sure you go. This ice one, however, is a bit more of a longer ice turn that you have to set up for. But again, there's some time. You can relax, you can delay. You don't have to instantly drift in and, oh no, what else will go on? What else this track likes to do is take the checkpoint sideways, right? Where you go through the triangle. There's a couple of checkpoints in this one where you have to make sure you take that line, because otherwise you're going to have to awkwardly drive around, and it's not really quite what you're looking for. But at the same time, there's some risk involved with that as well, because it's not the biggest gap in the world. It's not small, but I can imagine some players really pushing it and accidentally hitting a part of the checkpoint. I think that could be quite common on this track.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, especially having like a sideways CP going on. Definitely interesting to see how you go through that, whether you want to take it at a very close angle to try and get as much speed as possible, or take it a little bit wider. You might lose a few seconds, but at least you get through it safely. The grass section's definitely going to be interesting as well, as that uphill could be dangerous if you go on the wrong section. It could go a little bit too long. But this map seems to be a lot of not only just trying to keep your car on the ground, trying to get as close a line as possible to shave as many as we head in. Watching a
on board with Iridium. Let me make sure I got you with you. There you go. Right now in top 3, this dirt jump as well, I found if you're pushing this with a lot of speed, right, trying to get into well, fairly 5th gear, close edging onto it, right, but it's quite easy to go a bit wide and hit one of the trees on the side. But that came and go as we had the Ice and Iridium. Unfortunately, on the exit hits the corner right there. Quite unfortunate. We're left with Curious and Kunal right now in numbers 1 and 2, with Neil chasing right behind in number 3. Here we have one of these checkpoints I was talking about. But let's see which of these players will be able to retain the most speed heading into the plastic section coming up in just a bit. Got to make sure you use the space available to you. Kunal unfortunately hits the wall there on the downhill jump, and Neil is left on his own at the front, picking up another 25 points. Is that world record? I mean, at this point, I'm not surprised, honestly. He just keeps doing it. He can't keep getting away with it.
He's just a comfortable player, getting used to these maps. And he also seems to be one of those players able to learn these maps really quickly. So in the early rounds, he's able to get a quick world record. If not in warm-up, the first round, usually he's got himself a world record, extending his lead a bit further, as it's going to be quite a distance between Kunal and Iridium, about 100 points separating them. Head into the first quarter of the second round. We are on board with Ojas here. Ojas about the middle of the pack, but he is keeping really good speed on this. Going a little bit wide, unfortunately. Doesn't mean he's going to lose a few positions, but he's able to get onto the dirt quite smooth. Takes the inside line just not to risk it. And it does mean everyone's going to get a bit of a better gear as we do head into the ice section. He overslides just a little bit just to make sure he hits the corner, but does mean he's going to lose a bit of speed. And we have a bonk out. Someone else bonked to the railing, and unfortunately they are out as Ojas can just fall into that fall. Closely behind Nami. Why did the name turn off? I don't even know why the name turned off, but
I don't know.
Nami right behind, right ahead of him, actually. As we do head into that dirt sector before the end. Neil bonking and losing that first position, unfortunately. It means that Nami and Ojas will be able to overtake with a nice drift here. Even though Neil's able to keep a lot of speed, Ojas is able to keep a lot more speed. It's going to come down to the very end. Will he be able to get a flat jump? And it's got to be Ojas! Ojas sniping him by 13 milliseconds. 13 milliseconds! That's what we want to see in Trackmania.
That is ridiculously close, and that is the difference between, you know, that's 4 points more or less that you're looking for. I mean, for Neil right now, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does allow Kunal to catch up even a bit more, right? Instead of having to, you know, overtaken by 5 points, it's 9 points reduced. It can matter. It will matter if this keeps happening, right? Kunal needs to pick it up if he wants to get first place, but the gap is still quite substantial, right? You've got, what is it, 53 points separating numbers 1 and 2 right now, and I'm sure Neil, you know, he can deal with a round not quite going his way, and so far he's been in top 3 on electric all the way around. Looking at the ice slide right here, everybody at the front doing a fantastic job at it as well.
Yeah, as
we do, Kunal just in hot pursuits.
Yeah,
he's trying to get close,
but these guys, Not Curious is actually getting quite a clean line, but Ojas seems to be overtaking him on the last second. It's unfortunate. We did see a bomb from Iridium at the start, so I do believe he's out for the round. But it's going to be Kunal and Neil in the front due to that position, as Kunal is right behind him. That's an unfortunate bonk. He's going to lose a little bit of speed there, but Neil is able to keep that line with full speed, trying to get as many milliseconds as possible as we head onto the plastic. Takes it a little bit wide, makes sure to get the low jump, and takes world record again! 56.04. What is going on, Neil? What are you doing to us?
He's driving some crazy. I'm just checking at the meantime as well, because it's local records, right, that are being broken left and right. On the IO, it does look like his best is a 55.7, which is still world record of 55.7, I should say. But
yeah,
he is ever so close to just, you know, like getting to 55. It would be amazing to see him drive a 55 during rounds. And the way this is going, it looks like that is pretty much in the cards. It's fantastic driving on his end. And,
yeah.
You know, makes sense that he's in first.
We know heading into this that Neil is quite a strong competitor, and he was definitely one to watch. Kunal being the winner of the previous one, I do expect him in. So it's interesting to see that Neil, who hasn't had many accomplishments himself, actually getting quite clean lines. Never mind, he bonked the ice wall.
I thought he would recover that.
Ojas getting overtaken by Kunal. Kunal just climbing into that first position. As I said, he was the previous winner of the TMI Cup, so he's definitely one to watch heading into the rounds, especially watching towards the playoffs. I do believe Kunal will be one of the competitors up there, considering the way he's playing right now. But early days, we will have to see, as Kunal keeping a lot of speed, unfortunately bonking on that dirt, getting a little bit of a drift just to make sure he gets that clean angle. Heading up onto the plastic, he gets it smooth. No real bonks there as he heads into the finish for a 50.5. Iridium actually close behind with a 57.1. It's still an interesting game. We'll say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not, you know, over and out right now. Maybe in terms of points, but I should say at the same time, right? This is all about placement, right? You're not just competing against the players right here, though. You know, obviously we're driving amongst each other and seeing who gets first and second, right, to make sure you get as many points as possible. But at the same time, it's all about getting a good ranking to set up for playoffs. Like, you could technically get away with not being the best player right now, but still be good enough to get into playoffs, right? I think that is the bar you need to clear. And I mean, preferably if you could do that in first place, obviously, but that does mean that there is still, you know, time to get to that bar and try and beat the top King Kong right here, right now. Right now, that is Neil for today. Though Kunal this time around in the lead, with Neil close behind. I mean, previous round as well, Neil making a mistake on the ice, but still able to claw his way back into top 3. And right now, no mistakes really happening, and it is a close fight for first place. Neil and Kunal exchanging first and seconds. We'll see which of the two will be able to hold on to it. Kunal slowing down just a bit more before the plastic turn, allowing Neil to solidify his first place. Shoots his way forward. Another 25 point goes his way.
Indeed, and especially looking at the standings as well. Ojas actually overtook Iridium, but Iridium's about to, I believe Iridium's about to get his spot back. He was overtaken for a round. Ojas was in that third position, but unfortunately with those points, Ojas will move down to fourth. But considering those guys are dueling for like third and fourth, and Kunal's still 100 points ahead, and Neil is still about 50 points ahead. Oh, Avish. Avish, what are you doing to me, man? As we do head into that final round, it is going to be Iridium in that third position. As we do head there, 50 points separating first and second there. On board with Kunal right now, getting that smooth landing up as we do head into that first platform drift. Takes it really close. He nearly bonked out, but he does go a little bit wide on the dirt. He's going to lose a little bit of time because he's had to drive on a little extra penalty dirt. Heading into that, heading into that ice section. It's going to be Ojas actually getting a close line, but Kunal's going to get the better line out of it, straighten out a lot earlier, and drifting ahead. It's Neil. Neil's actually clawed his way back with Not Curious and Iridium all there. It is currently a four-way duel for that first position. Everyone's so close together. If anyone's getting for this round, everyone's pushing so hard. And it does look like Curious is able to hold that third position just ahead of Iridium. Curious getting a better line on that than Kunal. Kunal's gonna be very close there, but he's gonna do that tap drift to go there. Iridium bonking out. Iridium was full sending into that corner, but didn't have the right angle. Kunal's getting to overtake on the last second. Neil going a little bit wide, and it does mean that Neil's gonna get that second place. Curious so close on that third position. Curious is definitely the one to watch for that round, if I do not say so.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a close fight up until the end. I mean, it's of what I've been seeing, right? Some players being a bit more safe before the plastic section has been determining, quite some of these placements, right? It can easily change a placement up or down depending on how much you risk for that plastic turn. But I can imagine, right? These players might not dare to go as far because it's right at the end, and it's the place where you definitely don't want to make a mistake. If you make a mistake at the start, there can be room, there can be time to improve upon and try to recover from it. But right at the end, where you've got this tight turn to jump onto the plastic, it's risky, right? It's something you might be worried about, especially if you're dueling along with another player. But yeah, it's it led to these interesting finishes. I really enjoyed that one. Right now, though, we're already at the end of week 1. We've got Hook. That's it.
I was just about to say with maps as well. For those who saw the loading screen without a belt, funnily enough, that's my map. That's the map that we made with Okada. It's quite a fun speed tech route there. Unfortunately, it hasn't been picked for track of the day. But speaking about maps, tell us a little bit about Hook.
Hook has been one, like as I mentioned before, definitely one that I've been enjoying. It's been the ice slide that's coming up in a bit that I've enjoyed a lot. There's not a lot of plastic on this one, but it's a nice long ice turn. You want to make sure you enter it in your 4th gear. Get your car sliding out, right? But don't set up the drift just yet before you get into the downhill, and then you commit, then you go in. And you've got plenty of time to make sure you can get the exit as you would like. You've got this uphill dirt, right, bank. You don't want to go up too high, you're going to lose some speed, so you might see some players go for a little bit of a drift to make sure that they keep their cars as low as possible. And the finish is deceptively hard, right? Because you have this little bit of a jump, you've got the booster, but it's very, very easy to jump a little bit too high and crash into the finish instead of going through the finish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of the players.
The risky finish was right at the start. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no, they have to drive all the way back. And
Curious, unfortunately, bonking out at the start of this first round on the final map. Ojas taking a bonk there. It does look like Iridium's going to be dueling for that holding that second position actually, with Kunal right behind him, hoping to claw his way back as we do head into the ice. Iridium over brakes and unfortunately does lose it. He is going to go into the penalty snow and sacrifice his Kunal, with Nami able to climb up to that 3rd position.
Great speed from Kunal out of the plastic right there. I'm curious to see if he's able to retain it onto this dirt. You can see a little bit of a drift from Kunal, allowing himself to stay a bit lower, overtaking Neil right there, but it's going to come down to the finish line right here. Is he able to make sure to get a low enough jump not to crash it at the finish? Both of them doing a fantastic job, but it is Kunal who picks up the number 1 spot with a 52.59. Great time to kick things off.
Indeed, and even though everyone's still learning the maps, you did see a lot of bonks. Ojas unfortunately bonked, Iridium had to slide out, Curious bonked at the start. It is definitely, this map's a bonk fest, especially for the first round, but moving into the later round. Come on, Avish. You got this, Avish. No, he's not gone off speed. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
these won't
not
make
quite,
it.
not quite.
Big F for him, unfortunately. As Neil surpasses 500 points. That's still not the full 600, but hey, that is still pretty good, especially for these competitors.
That is very good. I mean, considering max points that you can get, right? 6 rounds in which you can get 25 points each. You know, some quick maps right there. 150 per map. 750 over 5 maps. It's, we're not maxing out, but it's good.
I like your
Good
quick
we're
maps,
not
but
maxing out.
unfortunately your quick maps was wrong because it's only 6. Oh no, it's 6 maps. I thought 5 maps.
It is 6 rounds. Yeah.
I quick maps wrong, folks. Here in Australia, we don't do maps. We just have big scary spiders. As we have this round where Iridium, Neil bonking out. Unfortunately, it does mean that Iridium is just going to be able to claw his way forward and hold that lead as long as he doesn't bonk. He's got that wiggle room, 0.5 over Ojas in that second position. So it's still anyone's game there, but it does look like Iridium is going to be able to get himself a nice juicy W with a 52.9, Ojas with a 53.8. It does appear to be about a second between first and second, and then about a second between second. It's so weird to say second and mean two different things. English is a great language, folks.
It's amazing. It's great. It's all about context, unless the context is unclear. At which point, what are we talking about again? What? Oh no, there's clipping at the finish. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I just saw. No. Soul, please. You have to fix the clipping. It's horrible. No, it's fine.
It's fine. Unfortunately, it does look
it's
like...
in that ice slide, right? That we've seen time getting lost. Not everybody really has that slide on lock, and it's been causing this gap between players.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, especially if you take this line that Ojas just took, you're going to be... that was a double bonk. I just watched the double bonk as Ojas is able to get that second. Unfortunately, he did lose a lot of speed on the slide, but he's able to get it smooth onto the plastic. This ice, it's definitely one of those difficult things to set up for the downhill. Do you want to full send into the corner and risk it? Iridium full sending into the corner. Curious able to get that first position. It's literally coming down to, do you want to full send or do you want to risk the break and lose it? Gibby's actually just sniped himself into first place as well. Gibby definitely someone to watch in these rounds as we do head into that jump down. Gonna get overtaken by Curious on the final corner, and does appear Curious may be able to pick this up with a low...
No!
Kudal manages to snipe him! Curious is broing in chat. Gibby, unfortunately, getting that second position. Ojas in third, Nami in fourth. Curious just... Curious is not happy about that one, folks. Bonking to finish like that, losing that first position because you bonked, it's not great.
It's not great. This is what I was talking about, right? It's quite easy to just go a little bit too high. Just a little bit too high. And it's a finish in your face instead of the finish line crossing, right? It really, it's definitely sour if it happens, right? You can have an amazing run and just go a little bit too far to the right and you'll launch yourself just a tiny bit up too high. But that is the way the cookie crumbles on this one. We'll see how it'll go for this round around. Neil, this time, not double bonking into the checkpoint right there. And we'll see if he's able to hold on to his first place as he is right now. Nami and Ojas in hot pursuit. You can see them going quite close to the inside of that ice as well. Ooh, Neil, unfortunately, sliding a bit too far to the left. Hit some dirt or snow, if you will, and is out of the running for now. So we're top three right now. Nami, Ojas, and not Curious. Curious to see how high these players will go. Curious going, in fact, quite high, allowing Ojas to perhaps overtake towards the end. Nami still comfortably in the lead, and Ojas does shoot into second place. All the airtime is A-okay from all the players. Nami in first, Ojas in second, and Curious in third place.
Curious getting the revenge on the map, especially after a bulk like that. For round 4, especially interesting to see that Neil got 6 points for that. That lead is slowly diminishing. If Kunal can get some higher placements, Kunal might actually take round 1 of the Indian Trackmania League, but it's still anyone's game at this point between those two. It does appear that Ojas is a little bit behind, but Ojas is slowly climbing up. It does appear that Ojas is going to get a bit of a lead over Iridium as we do head into the 5th round. Going to be on board with Kunal as Kunal gets quite a clean start. A little bit of a wiggle to make sure he's staying up as he does head into the first drift with Neil right there as well. He's keeping good pace with him, basically even. Oh no! Neil bonking on the outside of that jump. Unfortunately, he's going to be losing his position. Kunal able to keep it clean as he does head into that uphill drift. really unfortunate. But Nami is very close behind. Nami trying to get as many points as possible heading out of the first round of the circuit, cup, I should say. Kunal able to keep a very clean line on that. Ojas still right behind him. And it does appear that Divi's actually going to overtake him,
Great
giving a lot of speed in this section.
Oh,
and that's
too much speed.
Too much speed for that section, unfortunately. He's going to lose that speed, but Ojas is going to keep a closer line. This is going to be a duel for second place. Ojas is going to get the better line out of that one. Kunal is just going to cruise into the finish. Perfect jump with Ojas in a very close second. Divi and Curious very close behind in third and fourth, with Nami in fifth. Really unfortunate to see a lot of these bonks, but hey. Scorpid right there as well. Missing the road. That I know you like the grass, but the grass was earlier in the map. That's not the grass you look for.
It's definitely not. It's a close fight for first place because Neil's crash was very beneficial for Kunal right there. Just 4 points separating the two players. So if they are going to be fighting in the top 3, I mean, Kunal right now, I'd say the best shot really just get first place, right? Just get first place, because in that situation, there is never a situation where he and Neil can tie, as the point differential between first and second place is 5, right? And with 4 between the two, second and third place would be a tie if Kunal gets second and Neil gets third. But that's all going to come down to it right here, right now for first place. In the meantime, third, fourth, fifth, you know, like all these other players, I think are pretty close, but I think this is the 5 we're looking at. And Kunal actually slides out. Neil, where is Neil? Where is he?
Yeah, I believe Neil may have bonked the
Oh, he's also out of it. Oh no.
It's still,
and Kunal is still driving.
Kunal could still do this. He's in 5th position. I believe 5th gives you just enough points over 6th position. Kunal can climb higher, then yes, but keep in mind, the end still has bonkers. Kunal could still take this out with a 5th position. Enough. That's a clean jump by everyone. It's going to be 10 points for Kunal, but will this be enough? Keep in mind, we have to get 6 points from Neil.
The hero is going to come in.
We will have to see, and it's going to be... Avish coming in 6th. Yes, it's going to be enough. Kunal is able to overtake at the last second. That is jittering. And Neil doesn't even get a finish. It's going to be Kunal sniping him on the last round of the final map. Kunal taking out the first round of the Indian Trackmania League. Right there, with Neil in a very close second. Ojas able to get those 400 points for third place. I believe we're switching to another map, but it's all done. It's going to be those guys in the lead. Kunal able to actually snipe it in the last moment. I knew he had it in. I could tell.